As we apologize for the loss in connection there, as we have a new pitcher for the Dragons, as that was just a stolen base by Richie Barella, excuse me. So Barella is now on second, with the batter being Ben Rhodes out of Herkimer, the Amsterdam native. Ben so far tonight is 0 for 1, hit into a fielder's choice. As he swings and misses through that, is now 1-1, and he was also hit by a pitch in the first. The new pitcher for the Dragons is number 18, Sam Zabales. That one is ripped into right center, and that one will roll all the way to the wall. Barella is going to score, and Ben Rhodes is going to head into second with a stand-up double. So now the Mohawks will be up 5-0. As regardless of what pitcher has been in this inning, they've gotten a couple of extra base hits. As that is now the third straight hit. And that will bring up Jackson Wenstrom, the center fielder out of Hudson Valley Community College, banging the 9-hole tonight. He is 0 for 2 so far. He struck out looking. He flew out to left. Including tonight, Wenstrom is 1 for 5 with the Mohawks, as he'll chop that one down to first. And no one will be covering first, as they will still call it out, as they say that Dan Coleman tagged the bag before Wenstrom made it down the line, as first base coach Doug O'Bray is now arguing with the umpire over the call. And Coach Keith Griffin is now talking with the other umpire. I don't know if they're going to try and get something to happen there. It looks like they'll just let it go. But either way, after giving up 2 runs there on 3 hits, the Dragons get out of that inning with no errors, and the Mohawks leave one on, as we will head to the top of the 6th inning here at Shuttleworth Park. The Amsterdam Mohawks leading the Glens Falls Dragons 5-0. You're listening to the Mohawks radio broadcast here on YouTube Live. Top of the sixth here at Shuttleworth Park. New pitcher in for the Mohawks. Final line on Zane Stevens is 5 innings pitched, no runs given up, 1 hit. Excuse me, 3 hits. As that one is in there for a strike, it is now 1-1 to Nick Kondo. As that one is foul back, and that one probably would have hit me, or at least been in the vicinity. And excuse me, it's Nate Cobb at the plate. As Kondo was the last batter of the 5th. As that one is swung and missed, and that will be a strikeout. The pitcher is number 38. Zach Durant of Herkimer Community College. He's a Verona, New York native.
From Fairfield University, Dan Ryan.
So Zach Durant, and as I was mentioning, Zane Stevens' final line is 5 innings pitched, 3 hits given up, no runs, struck out 5, hit 2 batters. As that pitch misses off the plate to Dan Ryan, the right fielder, who's made a couple of nice plays, having to field balls out in the outfield today. As that one is in there for a strike, it'll even the count 1-1. Also, Dan Ryan today is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st. As that one is taken for a ball now, which will run the count to 2-1. As that one will be in there for a called strike of the knees. Evens count 2-2. Dan Ryan's numbers so far, including today, he's 2 for 10 now with a higher on base percentage, but hitting 200 at the plate. He has 4 RBIs on the year, which leads the Dragons, as that one will miss low and it will run the count full. Durant made an appearance in the Mohawks home opener, and he threw a scoreless inning. So currently he still has an ERA of 0.00, as he will miss high with that one, though, and that will give the Dragons a base runner here with 1 out. And their cleanup hitter, former Mohawk Dan Coleman, coming to the plate.
Dan Coleman.
Coleman so far today has struck out looking, has flown out to left as he swings and misses through that one. 0-1. The SUNY Cortland Red Dragon, as I actually graduated from SUNY Cortland this past May, so I share that in common with Dan, as that one is fouled at the plate, and it will be 0-2. But Coleman, as I mentioned, a 2017 Mohawk, played at Hudson Valley Community College for the Vikings, teammate of a couple of guys who are currently on the Mohawks as replacement players, and has since transferred to SUNY Cortland, who has a very good Division III program, as he swings and misses through that one, and that will be the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 swinging strikeouts gotten by Durant, as he will have to now get Phoenix Hernandez, who is 0 for 2 so far today. He struck out and grounded out. The Southern New Hampshire College product swings and misses through that one, 0-1. As the sun is all but darted away and lights are giving us our only light here at Shuttleworth. The breeze has quieted down. It's gotten a little bit chilly, but not terrible because of the lack of breeze. As that one misses low and away, it'll be 1-1. Oh, we haven't touched on as much as I touched on it earlier in the broadcast, but just to mention, several other Mohawks have come off the board in the MLB draft, former Mohawks, as that one misses low and inside. It's now 2-1 here to Hernandez. The 2-1, and now there's check down to first as they try to get him, and he will be called safe. That was a nice little throw down by Prater to Barella to try and get the runner, Dan Ryan, but he will slide back in safely. But just to mention, 7th-round pick, Brett Kinnaman, a left fielder out of North Carolina State, played for the Mohawks in 2016. He was selected by the Pirates. And in the 8th round, as that one will be flied out to right center. Ranging over is the center fielder, Wenstrom, who cannot make the catch. Gets the ball in. Running home is is Ryan, who will come in to score as the throw is up the line. And getting to third base on the throw was Phoenix Hernandez, who clocks the RBI double that will give the Dragons their first run.
From Cornell University, Josh.
That'll bring up Josh Arndt out of Cornell. That hit gave Phoenix Hernandez his first of the day, and if I can find it here, he is now 2 for 7 on the year, but that gave him his second RBI of the campaign. As the Dragons look to rally against the Mohawks now bullpen, as Durant gives up a run, his first run of the season, it will be earned. And that will bring up Arndt, who is will take that one on the outside corner for a strike 0-1. As the scoreboard has at 2-2, but the at-bat has just started. The speedometer rang that one in there at 91. As that one misses low, it's now 1-1. Hernandez on third, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Mohawks still hold a 5-1 lead. As they finally get right on the scoreboard with some help from the Mohawk faithful. Arndt so far today is 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice, both in the 2nd and 4th innings. The 1-1 here from Durant is swung and a missed, high fastball, clocked in at 90. He has some cheddar definitely for this league. If Arndt can keep it going, on deck would be Justin Rouse, as Durant hopes to shut the door here and get out of the inning. Phoenix Hernandez takes a nice lead away from third, and that pitch just misses the outside corner. The strike zone has been a little large tonight, so I think Durant was hoping he'd get that one, but it did just miss the plate, and that evens the count at 2-2. And now Durant sets, checks Phoenix at third, and the off-speed pitch is absolutely filthy and will punch him out for the last out of the inning. So the Dragons get on the board with 1 run on, one hit, but they will strand a runner at third. No errors for the Mohawks in that inning, as the Amsterdam Mohawks will hold still a 5-1 lead over the Glens Falls Dragons headed to the bottom of the 6th. You are listening to the Mohawks radio broadcast here on YouTube Live with Adam Agresta. Elvis Peralta Jr. will lead off an inning for the fourth time today. He led off the first, second, and fourth halves of the hitting for the Mohawks. He'll take that first one inside for a ball, 1-0. Peralta crowds a plate, but he seems to never really shy away, even if a throw is inside. He knows where each ball is going to be, and he has a pretty good eye. As that one will be skied down the left field line. Looks like it's hooking. Foul. As that one was hit a nice way, but it just hooked too far. Elvis today is 1 for 3. He singled in the first and came around to score on actually a hit batsman by Chris Lanzilli. Took a pitch in the back, and Peralta got a free trot in for the first run of the game as he swings through that one. Nice off-speed pitch there from Bailey. And that one is at Peralta's head, as I think it just got away from him, and that'll leave the count at 2-2. And excuse me, I just said, oh, is that one almost caught Peralta as well? But I had misspoke. I said Garrett Bailey was still the pitcher, but we had mentioned before that the pitcher this is now Sabala, who gave up 1 run in a third of an innings pitched last inning. As that one will miss inside, and Peralta is on with a walk. So second time on the bags today for Peralta. And they'll bring up Toby Welk out of Penn State Berks, the Division III powerhouse. And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Toby Welk it's really just it's really just semantics now about whether or not he'll be named an All-American. He hit around 450 for his college squad this past year with over a dozen home runs and 30-plus RBIs. As there's a check of the runner Peralta, but he quickly scampered back safely, and that ball sits high. First pitch to Toby Welk, 1-0. Welk starting at third base tonight is a pretty large dude, as that pickoff attempt by the catcher Stanley was a nice try, but Peralta dives back in safely. Toby Welk is a 6'2", 200-pound Downingtown, Pennsylvania native who just finished up his junior season with Penn State Berks, so he will have one more campaign to go as that off-speed pitch misses, but Peralta was going on the pitch, and he is safe. So that might be Peralta, the Mohawks, looking to be the Mohawks' everyday leadoff hitter. That might be his first stolen base of the year, and it is. It's actually it's the second stolen base, I think, for the Mohawks for the game. Yes, it is. Toby Welk stole a base in the first, but that stolen base is the second for the Mohawks on the year, and the first for Elvis Peralta. That one is taken at the knees for a strike. It's now 2-1 on Welk, but Peralta is at second as the Mohawks try to get some insurance here. Sabala steps off, and he'll have a conversation with Stanley. And I was talking about the former Mohawks being picked in the MLB draft, and I was cut off with the end of the inning. I just wanted to also add, in the 8th round, Tyler Smith was taken by the Angels. He played for the Mohawks in 2015. He was a right-handed pitcher for Canisius College. As that one is taken low. As that is called a strike now. And that, I think, evens the count up either at 2-2 or runs it full. It will run the count full as it was 3-1. And Welk looked like he wanted to try and trot down to first, but was not given, as he will foul that one back, spoiling the payoff pitch. inning and probably swinging at some better pitches as well. As that one will be rocketed down the right field line, but will hook foul out of play. Some good wood on the ball there for Welk, but just can't square it up. And also the final 30 rounds for the MLB draft happen tomorrow and the next day. So it'll be interesting to see if any more Mohawks, both current and former, get drafted, as that one is fouled back to the backstop and the count will stay full. And the 3-2 is now ripped right to the third baseman, who snags it. And he tried to double up Peralta at second, but the throw could not be handled by the second baseman, Kondo. Nice snag by the third baseman, Rouse, there, as Toby Welk tried to line one down the left field line, but it will now just be scored as an L5. And that will bring up Matt Padre with one out. Padre so far today is 0 for 1. He walked in the first and came around to score. Got hit by a pitch in the second, but was stranded on third and then grounded out in the fourth to the shortstop. Oh, as that first pitch is in there for a ball, 1-0. Elvis Peralta dancing a little bit off his second, getting a healthy lead now as he's not being held on as much. Hernandez stalking behind him. Zabala sets and deals as that one is cut on and missed. Big cut there from Matt Padre. Tried to put that one in the Puxatawny Creek. As that one will be taken for a ball as well. So now it is 2-1. And the 2-1 is low, and that will run the count to 3-1. So Zabala was able to get Toby Welk out, but he's fallen behind in these counts. And that's something that obviously you don't want late in games from your bullpen, as then they're required to throw just pitches to hit in crunch time. As that one will be ripped through the hole. Nice snag by Phoenix Hernandez to keep to keep Peralta Jr. at second. That was a great snag in the hole by Hernandez, Jeter-esque almost. And that was a good play, as if he doesn't snag that, I would say that Peralta moves up to third. And now it's just first and second here, one out. And Sam Prater, the catcher, will come up to bat. The Crimson Tide product is 1 for 2 so far today. He struck out in the first, doubled in the second, and walked in the... It walked and actually was also doubled off in the fifth, as he takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Peralta Jr. on second, Padre at first. As that one is fouled into the plate. And that'll give Zabala the 1-2 advantage. As I mentioned before, the Mohawks have done a good job of, our trainer actually came out to check with the umpire, who was actually that ball fouled up against him. But the the Mohawks hitters so far, especially against the Dragons bullpen, have done a good job of making them go deep, as the steal is on for Peralta, who will get to third safely. Had a good jump, as it looked like they were trying to get Padre on maybe a double steal, but Padre never moved. He just took his secondary lead and froze. So nice little play there, as that now gets Peralta in scoring position and takes away the force at those bases. And now it's 2-2. And that one will be ripped into the right center gap, and that'll go down for an extra base hit. As actually, excuse me, that will actually only be a base hit. Padre will go to third, but Sam Prater will pick up the RBI single. And the Mohawks are up 6-1 as Peralta Jr. comes in to score. And he also snagged his second stolen base of the inning. And that'll bring up Chris Lanzilli out of Wake Forest. And it looks like we will have a visit at the mound for the Dragons. And it looks like they won't be bringing in anyone else, but it will just be a meeting with the pitching coach in the infield.
Thursday, we'll have a free Wolf Brewing sample given out. Sample with beer. Homer Simpson machine. Then Friday, like every weekend in the summer, we have live music under the deck. This week it will be God Hotel.
And we will get back to action here, as the Mohawks will still have runners on first and third here with one out in the sixth, having increased their lead to 6-1. Chris Lanzilli at the plate. He is 0 for 2 so far today, yet to record his first hit as a Mohawk. He was hit by a pitch in the first, but was stranded on third base. And the first pitch to him is low for a ball, 1-0. Zabala sets, checks the runner first, and deals, as that one will be fouled right back to the screen. Evens count up at 1-1. With Matt Padre and Sam Prater on the bases at third and first, respectively. I wouldn't say the Mohawks have blazing speed on the paths, but you never know. Prater, a quite athletic catcher, as that one is swung on and missed by Lanzilli, and it'll make the count 1-2. And the 1-2 is on the ground. Nice little stop there by Stanley. That'll leave the count at 2-2. The Mohawks will finish out this game with the Dragons tonight. They will actually head to Glens Falls tomorrow and will play the Dragons once again. Then they will return home Thursday, as that one is in the dirt. Prater was stealing on the pitch, and he will get in there safely, as you'd probably honestly call that a wild pitch, though, as that one was in the dirt. That's a wild pitch. As after some delineation, I've determined with my statistics intern, Justin, that was probably a wild pitch, as that one is swung and a miss by Lanzilli, and he is down for the second out of the inning. But that will bring up his Wake Forest teammate, the right fielder, Mike Ludwig. Ludwig so far is 2 for 3 today, singled and had collected 2 RBIs in his first at-bat as a Mohawk in the first. and he also doubled in the 5th and came around to score. Because that one is in there for a strike, 0-1, as there are now, of course, runners on 2nd and 3rd. The 0-1 misses outside. Nice stop there by Stanley, the catcher. 1-1. As that misses high, and it'll be 2-1. But as I was saying, Mohawks go to Glens Falls tomorrow. They return home on Thursday to play the Capital City Reds in the non-league game. The Capital City Reds are not in the PGCBL. But then Friday, they will have another home game against the Albany Dutchmen, so that one will be a PGCBL contest. Then Saturday, they head to Saugerties, as that one is in there for a strike called strike, so it will be 2-2. And then Sunday, also return to Glens Falls for a matchup once again with the Dragons. So over the next week, they will have 3 contests against the Dragons. And we'll get to know this team pretty well. So as that one will be slapped to the shortstop, Hernandez. He charges that one, throws on to first, and he is called out, as that one was – there's been a couple of borderline calls here, as Doug O'Bray now just heads to the dugout, shaking his head in disappointment. But either way, the Mohawks do get one home in the inning, and we will head to the top of the 7th as the Mohawks are up 6-1. They scored, and also I'll give you one more line. The Mohawks there scored 1 run on 2 hits. They strained 2, and no errors there by the Dragons in that inning, as we will head to the top of the 7th with the Mohawks leading 6-1. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks radio broadcast here on YouTube Live with Adam Agresta. Justin Rouse will lead off the top of the 7th for the Dragons here. Rouse so far today has gone 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd and then struck out in the 5th, as that first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Durant stays out there, it looks like, as a long-legged righty misses high barely, as it will be 2-0. As that one is swung on and missed by Rouse, it'll be 2-1. Give you a little bit of an update on around the league. The Oneonta Outlaws are beating the Elmira Pioneers 8-4 in the bottom of the 4th inning at Dunfield. The Utica Blue Sox are beating the Watertown Rapids, as that one misses inside. It will now be 3-1 to Rouse. The Blue Sox are beating the Watertown Rapids 8-3 in the bottom of the 5th at Watertown. The Albany Dutchmen still hold a 5-1 lead over the Saugerty Stallions in the top of the 6th at Canteen Veterans Memorial Field. So that one will be flied back into the protective netting above home plate. And the New York Pilots are currently holding a 5-2 lead over the Geneva Red Wings. That one is in Geneva in the bottom of the fifth. And I mentioned before, the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs beat the Adirondack Trailblazers 13-10. As that one misses low, and after running the count full, Durant gives up a leadoff walk in the top of the seventh here to Rouse. As that will bring up Matt Hamill out of Siena College. Hamill so far today is 1 for 2. He singled one of only 4 Dragons hits today, and he actually also came around to score in the fifth for the Dragons' only run as he takes one high out of the strike zone, 1-0. As that one will be rocketed to center, settling under it is Wenstrom, who will make the catch and cause Rouse to retreat. Who do you have as the
The catcher from the University of Arkansas, Andrew Stanley. Sorry, you were right. Yeah, that's right.
As that will bring up Andrew Stanley. As that one will be called. First pitch there was grounded, looked like off of a player, so that's why they will call out of play, and that will be a foul ball. So 1 on, 1 out here with Andrew Stanley at the plate. Stanley's 1 for 2 today as he will fly that one back and out of play. And he will be behind in the count 0-2. Yeah, you're right. And excuse me from before, I had mentioned that I had said that Hamill had scored, but I actually had written that Hamill was thrown out at home in the fifth as Dan Ryan actually scored the only run of the game for the Dragons. A nice throw in from the right fielder, Ludwig, and a relay from the first baseman, Barella, was able to get Hamill at the plate. As Stanley is still behind 0-2 to the pitcher, Durant, who checks runner first, sets and deals, as that one will be in the dirt. Nice stop there by Prater. Keeps the runner from advancing. And we'll do it again. The 0-2 will be popped up in the air. Calling it is the catcher, Prater, and he will make the snag in foul territory, and that will be the second out of the inning. That will bring up the top of the order in Nick Kondo from UAlbany. Kondo so far today is 1 for 3, excuse me. Or actually, really, he's 0 for 2, actually, because in the first inning, he walked but was stranded as he'll take that first pitch or a strike 0-1. The 0-1 from Durant is in the dirt, and taking off is the runner as Prater immediately guns him down with feet to spare. And geez, I have no idea what the runner Rouse there was doing, but he got gunned down pretty easily. So that caught stealing will end the inning. So we will head to the head into the stretch here with the Mohawks still up 6-1 as we excuse me, as I'm just taken aback by how not close that was, as we will take a pause here to listen to God Bless America. You're listening to the Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Richie Barella leads off the bottom of the seventh here for the Mohawks. We're trying to determine who is on the mound for the Dragons, as Garrett Bailey was announced, but it was announced earlier that he was in the game in the fifth. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but either way, Richie Barella's at the plate. He is 2 for 3 so far today also, as he grounds that one into the hole at short. That throw was difficult, as that will be ruled a hit. So that will be Barella's third time on base today and third hit. As we will we're still trying to determine who is pitching here for the Dragons. As that will bring up Ben Rhodes. Ben squares around a bunt, drops a nice little beauty as nice play by the third baseman, Rouse there to get out of the way as that one bounced and then took a nice little hop out of play, so it'll be foul. Trying to move over the runner.
Eligible 701 for winning tonight's 50-50.
As that one will be knocked off the end of the bat. Does the same thing that bunt does, as Rhodes will be thrown at first, but it will just go down as a fielder's choice. And it will move up Barella as they'll bring up Jackson Wenstrom, who is over 3 so far, looking to clean up his 0 for tonight. The HVCC Viking so far this season is 1 for 6. So he takes that one on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. So that one was outside for a ball, 1-1. Big lead by Barella at second. The 1-1 is up and away. It'll be 2-1. As that one will be swung and a miss, it'll be 2-2. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Mohawks have a 6-1 lead over the Glens Falls Dragons, scoring 3 in the first off of starter Mitch Guerreri, as that one is almost thrown down and away by Andrew Stanley, as no one was covering second base, but a big lead there by Barella. And the count is full here against Wenstrom. The pitcher announced in right now was Andrew Bailey, but we had Andrew Bailey, Garrett Bailey, as that one is fouled off, and Stanley will have to take a second as that one hit off of him. But Garrett Bailey was announced in as a pitcher, and I believe that's who is on the mound. But that means we will have to get back to you on who actually pitched the 5th. And the 3-2 will be ripped down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's gone, but it will hook foul. As Wenstrom showed some of that power in batting practice today. He hit a couple of opposite field home runs, so we know he has it. Reminds me of former Mohawk Dan Coleman, who also went to Hudson Valley Community College, who is now on the Dragons starting at first base tonight. And we'll do again the 3-2. As that one is swung on a miss, so Wenstrom will go down with the second out of the inning. And it will bring up Elvis Peralta. Elvis so far tonight is 1 for 3 with a walk. He came around to score in both the first and the 6th, excuse me. First pitch to Elvis is ripped down the right field line, and that will hit and go all the way to the wall. Short wall there, Elvis rounds and will head for second. Scoring is Barella, and Elvis Peralta has his second hit of the day, an RBI double. As Barella scores his second run of the game.
Third baseman from Penn State, Berks.
And it'll bring up Toby Welk out of Penn State Berks. Toby so far today is 1 for 4. He singled in the first, he singled in the first and came home on an RBI single as he takes that one low for a ball. He came home on an RBI single by Mike Ludwig. And the 1-0 is ripped down the left field line, but it will hook out a play foul. As it seems like the Mohawks have started to time Bailey correctly, and have gotten a couple of hard hit balls off of him. As that one will be ripped down the left field line and fouled once again. As Welk will look to straighten one out and get some more insurance. The Mohawks, who now lead 7-1. They have 12 hits in the game compared to the 1 run and 4 hits for the Dragons. As that one will be ripped into left, and that one will go back to on the wall, and it will hit off the wall. And that will score Peralta, who was running on contact. As I don't know if you saw on the screen, but Toby Welk did the Fortnite dance celebration. As I wish we had HD cameras out here in Shuttleworth Park. That would have been funny to get on a nice camera. But either way, the RBI double for Toby Welk gives him his third RBI of the year and his second hit of the day, as the Mohawks now lead 8-1, as that curveball to Matt Padre is outside for a ball, 1-0. As that one is in there for a called strike, 1-1. I was just told that 7 different Mohawks have RBIs tonight. The only one with multiple RBIs is Mike Ludwig, the right fielder, who hit a 2-run single in the first, as that one misses low for a ball, 2-1. Welk leading away from second. Bailey sets, delivers a 2-1, as that one will be popped high in the air. It's in left field in foul territory. Going over is the third baseman, who will miss it, and it will be called a foul ball. It looked like the third baseman, Rouse, had it lined up, but he seemed to just lose it either in the lights or I'm not really sure. But either way, it will be 2-2. 2 outs here with Matt Padre at the plate. Toby Welk on second base. Mohawks with an 8-1 lead. As that one will miss low, and they'll run the count full. And the 3-2 is spoiled, fouled out of play. Toby Welk, who is running on contact, has to go back. Matt Padre at the plate is one of only 2 players that don't have an RBI in the lineup, him and Jackson Wenstrom, the 3 and the 9 hitters. As Padre fouls that one right back to the screen, and he spoils another one. And the 3-2 now is ripped down the left field line, and that one will hit off the wall, and that will be fair. So that will be the 3rd straight double for the Mohawks of the RBI variety as well. So Padre may not have had an RBI before, but now he does. as Welk comes around to score. And that'll bring up Sam Prater, who is currently working on a 2-for-3 day at the plate with an RBI of his own.
The catcher from the University of Alabama, Sam Prater.
Prater so far tonight has done a good job at not only at the dish, but as a good defensive catcher, throwing out a runner already, as that one will miss inside 1-0. As that one will miss in the dirt. 2-0 now. Is now Matt Padre at second. As that one will be ripped down the left field line, but foul. Running the count 2-2-1. So coming into this at bat, now Matt Padre is 2-for-3, and Sam Prater is 2-for-3. So both, you could say catchers on the team, I guess, as that one is swung on and missed by Prater, and it's now 2-2. 2-2, 2 outs, runner on second base. Mohawks have an 8-1 lead as they've scored 3 this inning on 3 RBI doubles. As that one will miss low, and now it will run the count full. And the payoff pitch is in there for a called strike 3. Prater didn't really like it, but that will finally end the inning. But not before the Mohawks get 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors. They strand 1 as we will head to the bottom of the, the top of the 8th inning with the Amsterdam Mohawks up 8-1. You are listening to the Mohawks radio broadcast here on YouTube Live with Adam Agresta. And we are back here in the top of the 8th as the leadoff hitter in the eighth, Nick Kondo, who finished off the bottom or top of the seventh, as Ross was caught stealing, just jacked one over the left field fence. My apologies on not having commentary. We had to check to make sure we had some statistics and pitching changes correct. So now we've determined that it was the starter Guerreri that came out for the fifth. And he pitched the first 2/3 of the inning, and then Zabala ended up coming in the fifth. So that was Bailey's first appearance. That one is fouled right back by Nate Cobb. Nate Cobb so far is 1 for 3 today. He singled in the third. But just to go back to Nick Kondo's home run there off of Durant, just a fastball down the plate that he just left too high. As there'll be a 2-1 count here to Nate Cobb. Someone will be ripped down the left field line, but will hook foul. Brings the count to 2-2. So that now cuts the Mohawks lead to 8-2. With Durant still out there. And that one is swung on and missed. Giving Durant his 4th strikeout of the day.
The right fielder from Fairfield University, Dan Ryan.
And now the Mohawks only need 5 more outs to clinch this one. It'll bring up the right fielder, Dan Ryan, who's made a couple of great plays in the field today. A couple of nice throws in, picked off Sam Prater at first on a fly out as that first pitch catches the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Ryan so far today at the plate is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first, and he walked in the 6th and came around to score. As that one was in there for a strike as well, and now he will take some time with an 0-2 count here in 1 out. As mentioned before, the Mohawks will travel to Glens Falls tomorrow and will play a game there. Then they will travel back here on Thursday for a non-league matchup with the Capital City Reds. Then they will play a PGCBL matchup against the Albany Dutchmen on Friday night here at Shuttleworth Park. As that pitch missed low. Now it is 1-2 to Cobb as he swings and misses at that high fastball. And that will set him down. 5 strikeouts here for Durant in relief. That'll bring up the first baseman, Dan Coleman. Dan, the SUNY Cortland product, as mentioned before, the former Mohawk as well. Came from Hudson Valley Community College. Tonight has not had a good game against his former team as that one catches the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Dan is 0 for 3, struck out twice, once in the first and once in the 6th. The 0-1 is ripped foul over the grandstand here. And Durant is quickly ahead 0-2 now on Coleman. Looking to strike out the side after giving up that leadoff home run to start the 8th. And the 0-2 is swung on and missed, and he will get 3 swinging Ks. And despite the 1 run on the dinger by Nick Kondo, that will be the only damage done in the 8th as the Mohawks will head to the bottom of the inning up 9-2. You are listening to the Mohawks radio broadcast here on YouTube Live with Adam Agresta. So number 32, Eric Lopez, will come on to pitch the bottom of the 8th for the Dragons. Lopez is from Avila College. He's actually a San Diego, California native. Probably. Oh, is that one? Nick's looked like the helmet of number 24, Chris Lenzilli. I'm still getting familiar with the numbers as this is Lenzilli's first game of the Mohawks, but luckily it seems like he's all right. Probably just a little bit shaken up from getting an 84-mile-per-hour ball to the head, as that could have ended much worse. But that will be Lenzilli's second time on base today, but it will prevent him from probably getting his first hit as a Mohawk at least until tomorrow, as he will end today 0 for 3 with actually 2 hit by pitches now. That's the second time he got hit by pitch today. Just bad luck, Lenzilli. And that will bring up his Wake Forest teammate, Mike Ludwig. Ludwig today has been slugging the ball, singled in the first, collected 2 RBIs, and then he doubled in the 5th and came around to score. So he's 2 for 3. Actually, he's 2 for 4, excuse me, as he also was punched out in the 7th, as it'll be 0-1 here to Ludwig, as that one misses high, evens the count 1-1. Mentioned before that Chris Lenzilli hit 268 for the Demon Deacons in his college season this year, and his teammate Ludwig hit 267. And now they're both Mohawks teammates, as that one was swung on and missed, and it will be 1-2. Lopez sets. And that one will be a called strike 3, as the strike zone has been quite expansive today. We've seen it probably on both sides. So that one probably a little too close to take there for Ludwig, but he will be set down and will probably finish today 2 for 5. And it will bring up Richie Perella, who is also another guy that's been tearing the cover off the ball. He has 3 hits today. He's 3 for 4, and he has scored twice, also collecting an RBI in the 5th. First pitch there is a strike in to Perella, 0-1. Perella, excuse me. The 0-1 from Lopez is high and inside. It'll be 1-1. On deck is Ben Rhodes, and then if the inning is kept going, Jackson Wenstrom, who is the only Mohawk in the lineup tonight without an RBI. As that one will miss, and it'll be 2-1. Lopez checks your runner at first, sets and deals. And that one is cut on and missed. Healthy cut there by Barella. And it'll be 2-2. I also mentioned before, with the Mohawks playing the Dragons 3 times over the next 7 days, it's certainly important to get a nice win like this in the first game, as it gives your team confidence facing that squad in future games, as that one is fouled back. But also it can do something to mess with the confidence and kind of turn the other team a bit paranoid, thinking that, these guys are almost unbeatable if you get enough of a good game against them, as that one is fouled off of Barella's foot. He's sitting there for a second, definitely in a bit of pain. It looks like he'll be all right. He'll try to walk it off. And it looks like he's good. As Barella gets back in the box. Lopez checks around their sets and deals. That one is hopped a couple feet in front of home plate as that wild pitch will let Lanzilli easily walk stride down to second. So that takes away the force out at second base. I believe that would be counted as the third wild pitch for the Dragons today. As that one will sit high, and Barella will be on base for the fourth time today. So the Mohawks have runners on first and second here, one out. As the Mohawks had a runner on base in every inning but the fourth, which is, as that one skied down the right field line of play with Ben Rhodes at the bat out of Herkimer College, an Amsterdam, New York native, graduate from Amsterdam High School, went to Siena his first year, but then ended up transferring to Herkimer. Rhodes so far today is 1 for 3. He doubled in the fifth and got an RBI, and then he also was hit by a pitch in the first. That one sits high and outside. It's now 1-1. Jackson Wenstrom out on deck. The 1-1 to Rhodes is on the inside corner for a strike, and Lopez is ahead 1-2. And the 1-2 is in the dirt and outside, so that'll even the count of 2-2. Mohawks have a righty warming up in the bullpen. Can't see the number from here, but I would expect them to put someone new in after Durant threw 3 quality of innings of 1-run ball, as that one is ripped down the right field line foul. Misses Doug O'Bray by a couple of feet, coach, the first base coach of the Mohawks. Now Lopez looks in for his sign, sets. And here's the pitch, as that one misses outside, so now the count is full. And the Mohawks have, we've mentioned driving counts tonight, especially pitch counts high. But I think also it's a thing with Glens Falls just not being able to throw accurately, as that one misses, and now the bases are loaded here with 1 out. And Jackson Wenstrom, the only Mohawk starter to not secure an RBI, steps up to the plate.
The center fielder from Hudson Valley College, Jackson Wenstrom.
Wenstrom so far today is 0 for 4. He struck out twice. As that one is high and outside, 1-0. As let me see if the one there is cut on and missed by Wenstrom and just swings right through that one. 1-1. If I count both walks and hit by pitches, as that one is also caught and missed, so it'll be 1-2. And The Mohawks have secured 9 base runners either by walk or by hit by pitch tonight, as that one will be chopped and it's going to be in shallow left. No one is called it yet. Now the center fielder comes on and guns it home. Nice throw, as there was a reason that the runner Lanzilli on third was not sent by Coach Griffin. The center fielder for the Dragons, Nate Gabas, a nice arm as he made a good play of chasing that one down. Definitely not trying to let the second baseman Kondo try to make a hard play out on that. As that will go down as an F8. And Elvis Peralta will come to the plate for the 6th time today. Peralta is 2 for 4 with a walk. He's singled and doubled. Secured an RBI. He's stolen a couple of bases, and he's scored 3 runs. All around great day for the leadoff hitter, as that ball skipped in the dirt in for ball 1. That one will be ripped right to the right fielder, Ryan, who will make the catch, and we are on to the 9th inning here at Shuttleworth Park with the Mohawks holding a 9-2 lead as they scored no runs on no hits. However, they left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. As they will look to close this one out in the 9th. You are listening to the Mohawks radio broadcast here on YouTube Live. Coming out to pitch for the Mohawks in the top of the 9th here is Nick DeBrino. DeBrino, the Canisius College pitcher. A freshman, standing at 5'7", 163. Smaller for the usual pitcher prototype. He's made 1 appearance so far this year in Utica last Friday. He threw 1 inning, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. 2 of the runs were earned. He walked 1, he struck out 1. His ERA currently is 18 flat. So this is a good place to bring him in a non-high pressure situation to get your confidence back, as that one is in for a strike, 0-1. At the dish for the Dragons is Phoenix Hernandez, the Southern New Hampshire college product. Made a couple of nice plays at shortstop tonight. As mentioned before, he is a Dragons veteran, as we will now get a meeting between Sam Prater and Nick DeBrino on the mound. As Sam Prater, who is not that tall of a guy, seems to tower over DeBrino. Listed only 3 inches higher, 5'10" versus 5'7" for DeBrino. Now Nick sets and throws the 0-1, as that one will miss low. It'll be 1-1. If you're interested on seeing where some of the former Mohawks have gone, is that one is skied into right center. Coming on is the center fielder, Jackson Wenstrom. He will give way to the right fielder, Ludwig, who makes the call and makes the catch for the first out of the 9th. But as I was saying, if you want to see where some of the current and former Mohawks get drafted to during the MLB drafts rounds 11 through 40 over the next 2 days, you can always follow our Twitter account, Amsterdam Mohawks, and you can also follow our Facebook page. We put on different giveaways on both of those, usually every Tuesday and Saturday. So keep an eye out for that, as that one misses low and away, 1-0 to the left fielder, Josh Arndt, out of Cornell University. The 1-0 from DeBrino. Catches the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Arndt so far today is 0 for 3, as he is yet to get on base. As that one will also be called a strike, and DeBrino is ahead 1-2. But I would definitely say start following the Mohawks on social media. Once we get into some more of the division games, we will have some pre- and post-game interviews with both players and coaches. As that one will miss low, it'll be 2-2. And you get to see some of the MLB future stars of tomorrow today, especially when you get to come to a game, as regular ticket prices are only $4 for admission for adults, which is definitely a really good price. Great barehanded snag there by the Dragons first base coach. And we've already mentioned that 2 Mohawks were taken in the first round, and a 2018 2B Mohawk, Lenny Torres Jr., was taken in the first round by the Indians. And right now, it's still in question whether or not he will actually report to the Mohawks. So he might not actually count come signing day for MLB draft picks. But either way, big congrats to him. He was set to go to St. John, so that's his other decision. And then also a former Mohawk, 2016 Mohawk, Griffin Roberts, was drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. And he's being labeled as one of the most major league ready first rounders to get drafted so far this year. As that one is fouled back and out of play, and the count will stay full. And the 3-2 will be chopped to second. Actually, coming on was the first baseman, Barella, but snagged by Ben Rhodes at second, then tossed to the pitcher, DeBrino, who did a nice job of covering first base. And the Dragons are down to their final out. No, that was 4-1.
So third baseman from Bellarmine, University, Justin Rouse.
As Justin Rouse, the third baseman, will step up to the plate out of Bellarmine College, as that off-speed pitch snags the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. And that one will be fouled out of play. And now the Dragons are down to their final strike. Also, for everyone listening and maybe looking back on some of these broadcasts just to see how maybe one of their friends or one of your kids or relatives have done. If you have any advice on how to try and improve a stream, as that one will be in there for a called strike 3, and the Mohawks secure their second win of the season. Final score here will be the Mohawks 9, the Dragons 2. Winning pitcher will be the Mohawk starter, Zane Stevens. Losing pitcher will be the starter for the Dragons, Mitch Guerreri, and there will be no save as it was not within 3 runs. But big days by a couple of new Mohawks. First, Sam Prater secures a couple of hits, gets on base 3 times, and then old Mohawks as well. Matt Padre goes 2 for 3, but gets on base 4 times. He comes around to score once. But and then also a new Mohawk in Richie Barella out of Manhattan College, a teammate of Matt Padre, comes in and he goes 3 for 4 with a walk, gets on base 4 times. He scores twice, secures an RBI. 8 of the 9 Mohawks in the starting lineup secured an RBI today, as an all-around hitting display powers them to victory. And that'll pretty much do it here at Shuttleworth Park, as we will be back here Thursday for a non-league matchup against the Capital City Reds, and then we will also have a PGCBL matchup Friday here against the Albany Dutchmen. For everyone here at the Mohawks, this is Adam Agresta signing off, saying have a beautiful night.